Politicians don't run India. Yes, you heard it right. They are just temporary faces coming and going after every 5 years. The real power lies with bureaucrats, an unelected class of officers who silently rules this nation, untouched by public opinion or Indian elections. They control your money, your laws, your daily life, and even your freedom. And there is nothing you can do about it. India's bureaucratic system is crafted by the British to control us, and even today, India is following the same old system. If you think elections do matter, think again. Politicians promise, but bureaucrats decide. India claims to be world's largest democracy. I tell this in every video. But is it really democratic when unelected bureaucrats wield so much power? Today we expose the truth about bureaucrats and the bureaucratic system in India. The truth about real rulers of modern India. The hidden faces behind every government decision. Let's debate about this in today's episode. The hidden power of Indian bureaucracy. Who really runs India? The bureaucracy of India, which exists today, is not created to serve people but to rule them. When British East India Company came to India, they needed a system to control millions of Indians efficiently. They created a service called Indian Civil Service (ICS), which is mostly dominated by British people. These officers have absolute power. They can tax people, they can put people behind bars, they can create laws, they can do anything. No one can question a ICS officer. Post independence, we adopted same bureaucratic system without major reforms, just renaming it to Indian Administrative Service (IAS). This meant India got independence politically but not administratively. Even today, IAS officers enjoy enormous amount of powers, often more than the elected representatives. They shape every aspect of governance, from education and healthcare to infrastructure and foreign policy, without ever facing voters. This colonial mindset still governs India in 2025. The real power behind politicians. Politicians come and go, but bureaucrats stays forever. An IAS officer is not that easy to remove from his position. This permanence gives them extraordinary leverage. Let's understand how actual Indian bureaucracy runs. Politicians announce big schemes like Make in India, Swachh Bharat, Digital India. But who actually implements these? Bureaucrats. They decide the funds, the priority, the place. A politician's policy is useless without a bureaucrat's signature. Bureaucrats controls India's budget of 45 lakh crore when calculated in 2025. They decide how your tax is spent. Politicians ask, but bureaucrats grant or deny funds, making them gatekeepers of Indians' money. Laws in parliament are also drafted by bureaucrats. Politicians rarely read or fully understand what are those laws. It is bureaucrats who draft laws and make impact on millions of population in India. For example, we will take the recent formulas controversy. The confusion largely is because the framing and the bureaucratic language in the law causing nationwide protests, political upheaval. In short, bureaucrats don't just serve politicians, they control them. Bureaucratic corruption, the India's biggest cancer. With great power comes great corruption. India's bureaucracy is notoriously corrupt, ranking among inefficient globally. But why is bureaucracy corrupt? Unaccountable power, no direct accountability to citizens. Once elected, as I said before, IAS cannot be removed from their positions. This gives them permanency. They control maximum of the licenses, securities, and other tenders. So it is perfect for corruption in bureaucracy. 2023 Delhi liquor scam proves the same thing. Bureaucrats manipulated with licenses, causing losses of thousands of crores. 2024 Bihar recruitment scam. Bureaucrats sold government jobs, ruining the futures of deserving youth. These scams never stops because politicians are temporary, but bureaucrats remain forever. Bureaucrats versus politicians. Who wins? Politicians often try to control bureaucrats, but rarely wins. When PM Modi have introduced lateral entry to hire professionals directly into bureaucracy, IAS officers strongly opposed it. Many such reforms are either stalled or weakened because of lack of support of IAS officers. Politicians like Arvind Kejriwal repeatedly complained IAS officers are not obeying his his orders and obstructing the government in Delhi. Even strong leaders struggle because bureaucrats hold institutional memory. Bureaucrats know that their position is permanent and politicians will leave after elections. Ultimately, bureaucrats will ensure their dominance even at democracy's expense. The silent bureaucratic rule severely impacts India. Inefficient governance, slow, outdated methods causing economic stagnation, resistance to reform. Bureaucrats oppose reforms to protect their privileges. Anti-democratic people elect politicians to represent them, but unelected bureaucrats actually rule. Is this democracy? Grok AI have exposed how bureaucrats secretly approved invasive policies without public scrutiny, which is affecting everyone's privacy. India urgently needs bureaucratic reforms. Accountability. Officials must face consequences for their corruption immediately. Transparency. Decision-making process should be transparent and public. Performance-based. Promotions should be based on performance, not based on seniority. Reduce power concentration. Decentralization of power, giving more power to local bodies so they can help and grow themselves. India claims to be world's largest democracy, but it is actually run by invisible elite group named as bureaucrats. The real question here is not who you vote for, it is about who controls those you vote. This is biggest India's open secret. Bureaucracy controls your life more than politicians ever could. It's your turn now. Is India truly democratic if bureaucrats have more power than the politicians? Let's continue the debate in the comment section below. India claims to be one of the world's largest democracy, where freedom of speech is supposedly guaranteed by our constitution. But the reality? Journalists jailed, comedians arrested, movies censored, and social media accounts banned overnight. Free speech in India now is just an illusion, carefully controlled, strategically restricted, and dangerously manipulated. This isn't democracy, it's controlled chaos, masked under fake label of freedom. Today we unveil the real truth behind the freedom of speech in India, about India's so-called freedom of speech. Why does speaking truth to power land people in jails? How did expressing an opinion become a rebellion today? This isn't just a theoretical debate. Your own words online tomorrow may land you behind bars. Let's debate this hard-hitting reality today. In episode 16 of the series Bigger Picture, we are going to discuss and debate about the freedom of speech in India. Are we really free? On paper, Article 19, Clause 1, Subclause A of Indian Constitution gives every citizen freedom of speech and expression. However, the promise comes with loaded of conditions and exceptions. Let me tell you the reality. In 2023 alone, India has dropped 11 positions to 161 out of 180 countries in Press Freedom Index (PFI). More than 160 journalists faced threats or arrests in 2023-2024. Over 9,000 cases filed under draconian sedition law since 2014. Freedom of speech isn't that free as the government claims. If you have watched till here, then you definitely love this video. Let the YouTube algorithm know by liking and commenting this video. Thank you for watching. This is Rohit D. Sharma signing off until next episode.